We're continuing on with our lesson on order of operations, and basically we're just working through examples. So again, I would say, why don't you try this group of 4, 17, 18, 19 to 20, and then come back and listen and see how you did. And then do the next group of 4 and come back and listen. And figure out where you're making any mistakes, if at all, okay? So, all right, I hope you're back here after you tried those. Let's look at what we're going to do. All right, so we do parentheses first, and this is also like parentheses. So we're going to do the inside of the parentheses first. So 8 minus 5 would be 3, and I keep my cube there, minus, and then I have inside an absolute value. I can still, if you want, I can still keep this. It wouldn't matter if you did it next or at the same time because it's on the same level, but I'll show you each step one at a time just for this. Okay, so I'm now still have a grouping, so I'm here. This is 3 cubed minus, and then I have inside this grouping 25 minus, and do you guys know what 4 cubed is? 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is what? 64, right? So 64. So 4 cubed is something you really should know because it happens a lot, and I'll expect you to know that. And then divided by 3 is what you would pull down. Now, still have a grouping, which is the absolute value. So 3 cubed minus, and inside this grouping is 25 minus 64, which would be negative 39, divided by 3. All right, so then it would be 3 cubed minus, and the absolute value of negative 39 would be positive 39, so I would just say minus 39 divided by 3. All right, exponents next. 3 cubed is 27. So 27 minus 39 divided by 3. Now it's division before subtraction, so it would be 27 minus 13. And 27 minus 13 is 14. So that's the answer for number 17. Number 18, let's do all this first. So inside the absolute value, we have, okay, this is really neat. We have negative 7 squared. This is a good time to talk about this. Does this mean the quantity negative 7 twice? That's what that means. Or does it mean the opposite of 7 squared? This is what it is, okay? There are no parentheses. That means this square only applies to the 7. It does not apply to the negative. So it's the opposite of 7 squared, or negative 49. Okay, if it had parentheses, it would be negative 7 times negative 7, and that would be positive 49. But it does not, so it's negative 49. Make sure you understand that. So, okay, let's go back and put what that is. So negative 7 squared is negative 49, plus 3 squared is 9 times 4. All that's in the absolute value. Okay, and then let's keep going. Plus 18 divided by 2 times 5. Okay, so negative 49, we're doing inside the absolute value, plus 9 times 4. We have to do the 9 times 4 first. So negative 49 plus 36, absolute value, plus 18 divided by 2 times 5. Negative 49 plus 36 is in the absolute value, so you have to do that first. So if we add a positive 36 and a negative 49, we get negative 13. Okay, so negative 13, absolute value, plus 18 divided by 2 times 5. And the absolute value of negative 13 is 13, plus 18 divided by 2 times 5. All right, so we've gotten rid of all our absolute value parentheses, guys. Oh, I know what I forgot. I'm going back. This makes this little phrase, PEMDAS. You've probably heard of that. PEMDAS, okay? And I kind of put those parentheses in there so you see them. And we learn that by, we can like, I forget what they call them, but It's where you put the first letter to a word so it helps you remember it. So please excuse my dear, I feel like you've seen this before, Aunt Sally. Okay? That's how you remember that. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please, P, excuse, E, my dear, multiplication, division, and Aunt Sally, A-S. Now remember though, the flitter, that multiplication, division, and addition, subtraction are from left to right. Sorry, I meant to say that and forgot. Just started writing on problems. All right, I'm back over here to number 18. 13 plus 18 divided by 2 times 5. We would do the 18 divided by 2 because we're doing flitter, right, from left to right. So 13 plus 9 times 5. Okay, now we do 9 times 5, so we're at 13 plus 45, and so we get a grand total of 58. Let's keep going. 5 squared minus 34. We're going to do the top, and then we're going to do the bottom. Okay, so 5 squared is 25, and 3 to the 4th is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which you should figure out is 81. All right, now on the bottom, I have some parentheses here. I have to do what's inside first. So this would be 2 cubed, which is 8 minus 5, times 6 squared, 36 divided by 9. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do on the top. If I do 25 from 81, you get negative 56. All right, and then on the bottom, 8 minus 5 would be 3 times 36 divided by 9 is 4. So I'm at, okay, now this is really interesting. I'm at negative 56 over 3 times 4. So I could divide by 12, negative 56 over 12. But I don't want to multiply and then have to divide out to simplify. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, you know the term, or if you haven't heard it, now you should simplify before you multiply. Okay, so we want to simplify this, and instead of multiplying it out by 12 to just make it more complicated, 3 goes into 56. So I am going to divide both sides by top and bottom by 3. So 56 into 3 is no, 56 doesn't, 3 doesn't go into 56, it goes into 4. I'm sorry. So let's just do 56 into 4 would go negative 1 time, and then it would have 2 left over, and so 4 goes into 16. It would have 1 left over, sorry. 4 goes into 16 4 times. So sorry, we would cross that out, and this would become 1, that would become negative 14. So negative 14 over 3, or negative 14 thirds. We always put the negative out in front, okay? I did that in my head. If you want to do negative 56 divided by 4, you could do it this way, 1, and then that would be 4, and then 16 gives you 14. Okay, let's look at number 20. A lot going on here. First, let's do what's inside the absolute value. So we have negative absolute value, negative 9 minus 10, which would be negative 19, plus, and we can go ahead and do this at the same time because it's not affecting anything. It's just going to be this little guy. 12 squared is 144, divided by 6 times 3. Now remember, don't do 6 times 3 first. Okay, you got to do the division in order of left to right. Now, absolute value of negative 19 is 19. So when I take away the absolute value, I get a positive 19. And then that's actually a negative because of this negative. Plus 144 divided by 6 times 3. So now I would do the 144 divided by 6. 6 goes into 14 two times, and with 2 left over, so it would be 6 into 24, and that would be 4. So that's 24. So we have negative 19 plus 24 times 3. Now we have to do 24 times 3 first. So we have negative 19 plus 24 times 3. If you have to go over here, it's okay, 12. And that would be 72. So that would be plus 72. And if you take away 20, that would be 52. So it would be 53, because you only took away 19. So 53 would be the right answer. Okay, I'm going to stop there on this.